In this video, we discuss one of the important concepts in numerical methods, that is numerical integration and the different formulae employed to find the value of the definite integral. If y equals f of x is given in the algebraic form, we can evaluate integral a to b y dx by the method of integral calculus. So, already in the lower classes we have studied how to solve the definite integral of the form integral a to b y dx. Here in analytical method we integrate the function y and we apply upper limits and lower limits. But in numerical integration is a process of obtaining approximately the value of the definite integral, that is integral a to b y dx, without actually integrating the function, but only using the values of y at some points of x. So, the logic involved in numerical integration is we do not actually integrate the function here, but here we need only the values of y at some equidistant values of x.
Here integral a to b y dx geometrically means that it is the area under the curve y equals f of x and bounded by x axis and two extreme ordinates at x equals a and x equals b. So, let us take x and y axis. So, integral a to b y dx means let us take this curve as y equals f of x. So, it is the area under the curve y equals f of x and below it is bounded by x axis and two ordinates at x equals a and x equals b. So, this is the area. So, I will repeat again. So, the definite integral a to b y dx geometrically means that it is the area under the curve y equals f of x and it is bounded below by x axis and two extreme ordinates at x equals a and x equals b. So, now integral a to b y dx means it represents area from the interval a to b. So, now we can divide this interval a to b into n equal parts. So, now let us rewrite the figure again. So, take x and y axis. So, the curve is y equals f of x and two extreme ordinates x equals a and x equals b. Below there is x axis. So, above the curve is y equals f of x and it is bounded below by x axis and two ordinates at x equals a and x equals b. So, now the interval a to b we can divide into n equal parts. So, let us divide the interval a to b into 6 equal parts. So, 6 equal parts means let us take the first point here x equals a, let us take this as x naught. Now, the next point is x1, let us draw one more ordinate. So, first ordinate is at x naught, second ordinate is at x1, then next ordinate is at x2. So, how many intervals we got? So, one interval, two intervals, then next ordinate is at x3. So, three intervals, then draw one more ordinate at x4. So, now we got four intervals, then draw one more ordinate at x5. So, 5 intervals. So, this is sixth interval. So, how many ordinates we got here? So, x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. So, take the last ordinate as x6. So, totally there are 7 ordinates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many intervals we got? We got 6 intervals. So, interval a to b is divided into, so here interval a to b is divided into 6 equal intervals taking 7 ordinates. So, n equals 7 ordinates means, it is nothing but 6 equal intervals or 6 equal strips. We can also use the word strips. So now n equals 11 ordinates means, so we can also divide this interval into, by taking 11 ordinates. So 11 ordinates means 10 equal intervals. We get 10 equal intervals or 10 equal strips. So in general, so n plus 1 ordinates means n equal intervals. So now we can calculate the length of each intervals. So here the length of each intervals are equal. So the length of each intervals should be same. So now, so length of each intervals equals, so length of each intervals equals, it is denoted by h equals b minus a by n. So x equals b is the last ordinate and x equals a is the first ordinate. So length of each interval h equals b minus a by n, or the last ordinate is, we can also take x6 minus x0 by n, where n is the number of equal intervals, total number of equal intervals. Now here for each x values we get the corresponding y values. So this is y0 and this is y1, this is y2, then y3, this is y4, this is y5, and this is y6, and the point here is x0 comma y0. So this is x0 comma y0, and here it is x1 comma y1, and it continues, and this point is x6 comma y6. So for each x values, that is x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6, we get the corresponding y values, that is y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. So the following formulae or rules are used to obtain the value of the definite integral, from a to b y dx. Now first rule is Simpson's one-third rule. So this rule can be used when n is a multiple of 2. So now let us see the formula Simpson's one-third rule. So integral a to b y dx equals, so we have to multiply h by 3. So h by 3 times, so first value of y is y0 plus yn. Yn means last value of y. First value plus last value of y plus, so the rest of the values of y you have to multiply by 4 and 2. Okay. So first value plus last value, then remaining y values, that is 4 into y1 plus 2 into y2 plus 4 into y3 plus 2 into y4 plus 4 into y5. So it continues. So this formula, this rule is called Simpson's one-third rule. So here you have to multiply by 4 and 2. So alternatively you have to multiply 4 and 2. So this rule can be used when n is a multiple of 2. Now second formula is Simpson's 3 by 8 rule. So this rule can be used when n is a multiple of 3. Multiple of 3 means if n is 3, 6, 9, 12, in that case we can use Simpson's 3 by 8 rule. So the formula is integral a to b y dx equals, so here we have to multiply by 3h by 8. So in Simpson's one-third rule we have to multiply by h by 3. Here we have to multiply by 3h by 8. Then first value plus last value of y. So we have to take first value plus last value of y. So then alternatively we have to use 332. So y0 plus yn plus 3 into y1 plus 3 into y2 plus 2 into y3 plus 3 into y4 plus 3 into y5 plus 2 into y6 and so on.
The third formula is Wedel's rule. So this rule is used when n is a multiple of 6. So multiple of 6 means n equals 6, 12, 18 and so on. So here we have to remember the sequence of numbers, that is 1 5 1 6 1 5 1 for 7 points. So if there are more than 7 points, we have to use the second sequence. So the second sequence is 1 5 1 6 1 5, then 2 5 1 6 1 5, again 2 5 1 6 1 5. So it continues. So the formula is, so integral a to b y dx equals 3h by 10 times, so in Simpson's one third rule we have to use h by 3, in Simpson's 3 by 8 rule we have to take 3h by 8, in Wedel's rule we have to multiply by 3h by 10. So you have to remember that in Wedel's rule we have to use 3h by 10 into, so now use the sequence of numbers. So 1 5 1 6 1 5 1 for 7 points, that is y 0 plus 5 into y1 plus 1 into y2 plus 6 into y3 plus 1 into y4 plus 5 into y5 plus 1 into y6. So this formula is for only 7 points, if there are 7 points. So now if there are more than 7 points, integral a to b y dx equals 3h by 10 times, so now use the second sequence, that is 1 5 1 6 1 5. So we get 1 into y 0 plus 5 into y1 plus 1 into y2 plus 6 into y3 plus 1 into y4 plus 5 into y5 plus 2 into y6, 2 into y6, then again 5 into y7, 1 into y8 plus 6 into y9 plus 1 into y10 plus 5 into y11. So again it continues 2 5 1 6 1 5. So it is 2 into y12 and so on, it continues. So now if there are 7 points we have to use the first sequence, if there are more than 7 points we have to use the second sequence. So you have to remember the order of the sequence. So there is important note here, when n equals 6 we can apply all the 3 rules, that is Simpson's one third rule, Simpson's 3 by 8 rule and Wedel's rule, because n equals 6 is a multiple of, it is a multiple of 2, 3 and also 6.
Evaluate integral from 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square into dx using Simpson's one third rule, Simpson's 3 by 8 rule and Wedel's rule. Take 7 equidistant ordinates. Also find approximate value of pi. So now we have to find the value of this integral using all the 3 rules, that is Simpson's one third rule, Simpson's 3 by 8 rule and Wedel's rule. The important thing what you have to observe here is we have to take 7 equidistant ordinates. So lower limit is 0, that is a equals 0, upper limit is 1, so b is 1. So here it is clearly mentioned that we have to take 7 equidistant ordinates. So 7 ordinates means, so 7 ordinates 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 7 ordinates means 6 equal parts. So don't take 7. So here n is 6 equal parts. So you have to take n equals 6. So length of each interval. So length of each interval, how to calculate that? B minus a by n. So h equals b minus a by n. So 1 minus 0 by n. What is n? It is not 7, it is 6 equal parts. Because 7 ordinates means 6 equal parts are created here. So 1 minus 0 by 6, that is equal to 1 by 6. So length of each interval is 1 by 6. Now, what is the given function here? Given function inside the integral sign is 1 by 1 plus x squared dx. So y is, so here y equals 1 by 1 plus x squared. So now using this data, now let us construct this table. It consists x values and equals 1 by 1 plus x squared. So now, so we have to start from 0 because lower limit is 0. So here lower limit is 0. We have to start from 1, we have to start from the lower limit 0 and we have to end at upper limit 1. So x value starts from 1. So now go on adding 1 by 6 to the x values. So 0 plus 1 by 6 is 1 by 6. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 2 by 6. 2 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 3 by 6. 3 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 4 by 6. 4 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 5 by 6. 5 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 6 by 6. So 6 by 6 is 1. So this is 0 plus 1 by 6. We get 1 by 6. Then 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 2 by 6. 2 by 6 plus 1 by 6 is 3 by 6. Then 3 by 6 plus 1 by 6, 4 by 6. 4 by 6 plus 1 by 6, that is 5 by 6. So now 5 by 6 plus 1 by 6 is 6 by 6. 6 by 6 is 1. So now for each values of x, we have to find the values of y. How to find the values of y? So y equals 1 by 1 plus x square. Substitute the x values, we get y values. So when x equals 0, y is 1. Now when x equals 1 by 6, 1 by 1 plus 1 by 6 whole square, you have to use the brackets in the denominator. Use the brackets wherever it is necessary in the denominator. 1 by 1 plus 1 by 6 whole square. So that is 0.9730. Then when x equals 2 by 6, y is 1 by 1 plus 2 by 6 whole square. So it is 0.9. Then when x equals 3 by 6, y is 0.8. When x is 4 by 6, y value is 0.6923. When x is 5 by 6, y value is 0.5902. So 0.5902. When x equals 1, y is 1 by 1 plus 1 square, that is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is 0.5. So this is y0, y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6. So now here to find the value of this definite integral, we don't integrate. We need only the values of y at some values, at some intervals of x. So now first rule by Simpson's one-third rule. So alternatively we have to use 4 to 4 to. Remember this. So now we know how to write the formula. Integral a to b y dx equals. So one important thing is you have to multiply by h by 3. You have to remember this. y0 plus y6, last value plus, first value plus last value. First value is y0, last value is y6. And rest of the y values you have to multiply by 4 to 4 to. 4 into y1, 2 into y2. 4 into y3, 2 into y4 plus 4 into y5. So that's what I have written here. So first value plus last value, 4 into y1, 2 into y2. 4 into y3, 2 into y4. 4 into y5. So now substitute all the values in the formula. Integral from 0 to 1, 1 by 1 plus x square dx. H value is 1 by 6. 1 by 6 by 3. Then y0 is 1. y6 is 0.5 plus 4 into y1. y1 is 0.9730 plus 2 into y2 0.9 plus 4 into y3 0.8 plus 2 into y4 0.6923 plus 4 into y5. y5 is 0.5902. So use the calci. So brackets, when you type the equation, so you have to use the brackets wherever it is necessary. Using the brackets is very important. So use the calci and simplify. So you will get 0.7854. So integral of 0 to 1, 1 by 1 plus x square dx using Simpson's one-third rule is 0.7854. 7854. Now we use Simpson's 3/8 rule, second rule. So we know how to write the formula. Integral from a to b y dx equals, we have to multiply by 3h by 8 into y0 plus y6, first value plus last value, plus, and rest of the values we have to multiply by 332. So you have to remember this. So 3 into y1 plus 3 into y2, 2 into y3, 3 into y4, 3 into y5. So this is for 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first value plus last value, y0 plus y6, plus 3 into y1, 3 into y2, 2 into y3, 3 into y4, 3 into y5. So now substitute all the values. 3 into 1 by 6 whole divided by 8. So 3 into 1 by 6 whole divided by 8. So use the brackets. So y0 is 1, y6 0.5 plus 3 into 0.9730 plus 3 into y2, 3 into 0.9, 2 into y3, 2 into 0.8 plus 3 into y4, 3 into 0.6923 plus 3 into y5, 3 into 0.5902. So y0 is 1 plus 0.5, y6 is 0.5 plus 3 into y1, 3 into 0.9730 plus 3 into y2, 3 into 0.9 plus 2 into y3, 2 into 0.8 plus y4, 3 into 0.6923 plus 3 into y5, 3 into 0.5902. So use the calci, we get 0.7854. So the value of the definite integral from 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx by Simpson's 3/8 rule is 0.7854. The third rule is by Wedel's rule. So you have to remember this order in Wedel's rule for 7 points. 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 5, 1. So we know how to write the formula, already we have discussed. Integral from a to b y dx equals 3h by 10 into 1 into y0 plus 5 into y1 plus 1 into y2 plus 6 into y3 plus 1 into y4 plus 5 into y5 plus 1 into y6. 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 5, 1. So integral from 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx equals 3 into h is 1 by 6 by 10 into y0. What is the value of y0? y0 is 1. 5 into y1, 5 into 0.9730 plus y2 is 0.9 plus 6 into y3 is 0.8 plus y4, 1 into y4 is 0.6923 plus 5 into y5 is 0.5902 plus y6 0.5. So use the calci, we get integral from 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx equals 0.7854. 0.7854. So now, after finding the values by all the three rules, now we have to find the value of pi. So now by analytical method, so by direct integration or by analytical method, by analytical solution or by direct integration. So to find the value of pi, so we know the value of pi is 3.14. We have to get this value. So now integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx by direct integration, it is tan inverse x. That is integral 1 by 1 plus x square is tan inverse x. Limits from 0 to 1. Apply the limits. Upper limit is 1, lower limit is 0. So tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. So tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. Tan inverse 0 is 0. So pi by 4 minus 0. So therefore integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus x square dx is pi by 4. So by all the three rules, by numerical integration, the value of this integral is 0.7854. But by analytical solution, the value of this integral is pi by 4. So equating both the results. So pi by 4 is 0.7854. So pi equals 0.7854 into 4. So pi equals 3.1416. So this is the solution. Second problem, calculate the value of integral 0 to pi by 2 square root cos x dx by Simpson's 1/3 rule, taking 11 ordinates. So here lower limit is 0. So a equals 0, then upper limit is pi by 2. So b equals pi by 2. So we have to divide the interval into 11 ordinates. So 11 ordinates means we get 10 equal intervals. So n equals 10. So given function y is function inside the integral sign, that is square root cos x. Then length of each interval, that is h. It is given by b minus a by n. So b is pi by 2 minus a is 0 by n is 10. So pi by 20. So this is in radians. If you want to convert this radians into degrees, so multiply by 180 by pi. So pi gets cancelled. So 2 nines are. So that is 9 degree. So pi by 20 means it is 9 degree. So now we have to construct the table. So x values, and for each x values we have to find the corresponding y values. So x value should start from the lower limit 0. Lower limit is 0. So x value should start from 0 and it should end at pi by 2. That is, first value should be 0 and the last value should be pi by 2. So now, so for 0 starts from 0, go on adding pi by 20. So 0 plus pi by 20 is pi by 20. Pi by 20 plus pi by 20, 2 pi by 20. 2 pi by 20 plus pi by 20, 3 pi by 20. Again add plus pi by 20. We get 4 pi by 20. 4 pi by 20 plus pi by 20, 5 pi by 20, 5 pi by 20 plus pi by 20, 6 pi by 20, 6 pi by 20 plus pi by 20, 7 pi by 20, 8 pi by 20, then 8 pi by 20 plus pi by 20 is 9 pi by 20, again add plus pi by 20, so 9 pi by 20 plus pi by 20 is 10 pi by 20, so 10 pi by 20 is nothing but pi by 2. So first value is 0, last value is pi by 2. So now, so here x values we have taken in terms of radians. So we can also take in terms of degrees. So that is 0 degree. Then, so if you convert pi by 20 into degree, we get 9 degree. So 0 plus 9 degree is 9 degree. 9 plus 9, 18 degree. 18 degree means 2 pi by 20. Then 18 degree plus 9 degree, 27 degree. So 27 degree plus 9 is 36 plus 9, 45, 45 plus 9, 54 degree, 54 plus 9, 63 degree, 63 plus 9, 72 degree, 72 degree means it is nothing but 8 pi by 2. So 72 plus 9, 81 degree, 81 plus 9, so 90 degree. So either x value you can take in terms of radians or in terms of degrees, it is left to you. So if you take the x values in radians, you have to change the calcium mode to radians. So if x values is in degrees, calcium mode should be in degrees. So if you take x values in radians, change the calcium mode to radians. So now here let us keep x values in radians. It is left to you when you type in calci. So square root of cos 0, that is 1. Then pi by 20, square root of cos pi by 20, 0.9938. Square root of cos 2 pi by 20, 0.9752. Then square root of cos 3 pi by 20, 0.9439. then square root of cos 4 pi by 20, 0.8995, square root of cos 5 pi by 20, 0.8409, then square root of 6 pi by 20, 0.7667, then square root of cos 7 pi by 20, 0.6738, then square root of cos 8 pi by 20, 0.5559, square root of cos 9 pi by 20, 0.3955, square root of cos pi by 20. So cos 90 is 0, square root of cos pi by 20 is 0. So now, we use Simpson's one-third rule to find the value of the definite integral. We know how to write the formula. Integral a to b y dx equals, we have to multiply h by 3. So this is very important, don't forget. So now first value plus last value. First value is y0, last value is y10. So y0 plus y10. So rest of the values multiply by 4 to 4 to. So 4 into y1 plus 2 into y2, 4 into y3, 2 into y4, 4 into y5, 2 into y6, 4 into y7, 2 into y8, 4 into y9. So first value plus last value, first value is y0, last value is y10. Rest of the values multiply by 4 to 4 to. So now substitute all the values. Integral from 0 to pi by 2 square root cos x dx equals h value is pi by 20. H value is pi by 20 by 3. y0 is 1, y10 is 0, plus 4 into y1. So 4 into 0.9938 plus 2 into y2, 2 into 0.9752 plus 4 into y3, 4 into 0.9439 plus 2 into y4, 0.2 into 0.8995 plus 4 into y5, 4 into 0.8409 plus 2 into y6, so 2 into 0.7667 plus 4 into y7, 4 into 0.6738 plus 2 into y8, 2 into 0.559 plus 4 into y9, 4 into 0.3955. So simplify using the Cal C. So use the brackets wherever it is necessary. So we get 1.1931. 1.1931. So this is the value of this definite integral. So integral 0 to pi by 2 square root cos x dx is 1.1931 by Simpson's one-third rule.